Hi, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we will cover the first vowel. And the first vowel is the ah sound. Okay, the vowel ah. So of course in English you don't say ah, you say ABC, not ABC. So this sound is produced, for example, in the English word car, ah, okay? In Hebrew we don't have a, we have ah. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, there are two ah sounds in Hebrew we will take a look at right now. But there are much more, we'll cover them in other lessons later on. We will start with the two main ah sounds in Hebrew. The first is called the Patakh. 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 And it's written very simply by drawing a horizontal short line, like that. So there's a huge difference between this line and this ah, right? But this is how they do it in Hebrew. And the second vowel we will take a look at, or actually it's not a second vowel, it is just a second form to write it. It's called the Kamatz. Kamatz. And you write it like a small T. So it doesn't just end with the line. Let's make it the same length. But we have also this vertical line connected to the horizontal line. And this looks like a T, right? When you write the T in a big letter. So we have the Patakh, that's an ah. And we have the Kamatz, that's also ah. Now, in Hebrew, we don't write the vocal beside the consonant. I'll give you an example. Let's take, for example, the word pa. Okay, pa. So first we write in English the consonant and then we write the vocal, right? But in Hebrew, we don't do it like that. We write the vocal not beside the consonant, but under the consonant. So let me show you this example in Hebrew. So we'll have the p, right? This is a p we have learned in the first two lectures. And now we write the vocal not beside the consonant, but under the consonant. So the vocal comes here. And then we read from top to bottom. Let's do that in a color. We start, let's take green. Maybe this time we will start here at the top. We read the consonant first, it's p, and then we go down to the vocal, that's ah. And then we have pa. And then we go on not to the right side, but to the left side, because in Hebrew, remember, we read the language and we write the words from right, or for you, this is right, to left. Okay, so the next consonant will be over there. And then we go on, we read the next consonant, then follows the next vocal, then again, back to the top, the next consonant, the next vocal, and so on and so on. So we could also write pa with the Patakh, of course, so it would look like that. So here we have the same example. Let me just put more space in between. So how do you read that? Well, it's both making the same vocal, the same sound, ah. So we read first top to bottom, p, then the vocal, ah, and then it goes on and on. Well, in this case, it doesn't go on and on. because here it ends. So it's just pa. Let's continue this example and make it a little bit longer. What about when I want to say papa? So papa actually means dad in many languages, also in German, which is my mother tongue. So papa would be dad in English. How do you write papa in Hebrew? Let's try it out with our knowledge that we have. Well, we start with the p, right? P. Let's do it with Patakh only, okay? Then follows a, so a. Then a second p. I did that not as good as I wanted. Then again, second a. So how to read that? Now, what did we say? We start reading from right to left, top to bottom. Let's start. The first consonant is p, then follows a, then we go to the next consonant, again to the top, p, and then follows a, and then it goes on and on if there's any more consonants and vocals to read. So it makes in the whole pa, 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 pa. So you just learned the first vocal, Kamatz and Patakh, and it both makes the same noise. So, well, what does it mean when I say it makes the same noise? It just means that if you hear a Patakh and if you hear a Kamatz, you cannot differ between these two because they sound exactly the same. So let's mix these two actually. Let's write papa with the first p takes the Kamatz and the second p takes the Patakh. Try it yourself and then stop the video and then you can compare with the solution. I'll do that in the meantime. So, you stop the video, right? So, did you do it? Did you know how to do it? Let's take a look at the solution. We have the first p, then follows an a in Kamatz, then again a p and then a Patakh. So it makes also pa, pa, like here. And you can try to practice it with two Kamatz, of course, because you're actually also practicing the writing of the vocal, which is also important. So I hope you understood this. We will take 3 more examples now. I want to show you to practice a little more. So the next word we will take a look at, or yeah, let's just put it away. The next word I want to show you, and you'll help me read it. So what's that? So remember just the rules. I mean, it's not so hard, right? Because we have rules how to pronounce it, how to read it. Remember just that we have to read it from top to bottom, right? And from right to left. Okay, so that's all we have to know. Let's start. Top to bottom. This is a B. Then follows a vocal. It's A, Ba. Then we go on to the next consonant, T. That's it. So that's bat, bat. And bat means not the English version of it, but the Hebrew version. Bat means in Hebrew daughter, daughter. Okay, let's write it in black. daughter. And I think I remember that it's not a Kamatz, it's actually a Patakh. But I'm not going to change it now. I just wanted to say that. So it actually should be a Patakh, because some words, they use Patakh, other words use Kamatz, and the word bat uses actually Patakh. But who cares? We want to just learn to read, right? So when you hear the word bat, it means daughter. So the next example I want to show you is this word. Let's see if you can pronounce it correctly. So what do we have here? We start again the same rules from top to bottom and from right to left. So we start here. Here comes a yod, as y, then follows a, and then d. Yad, yad. Yad means hand. Hand. In Hebrew. Yad. And the next word I want to show you is a little bit longer. Now you have to concentrate and keep on track. I believe that you can do it because we have all the rules, right? Just follow the rules. It will it will show itself how it is being pronounced, right? So let's see if you can see that. So here we have 3 consonants, right? Now it's getting a little bit tough. So what is it? Let's follow the rules, right? Let's start again with the first consonant, top to bottom, L, L. Try not to make an O sound. It's more L, okay? L, L. It's in the front of the tongue. L, L. Not in the back part, like oh, It's try to put your tongue like the front to your teeth, and the other part just leave it out. Don't connect it to the mouth. Okay, leave it in the air. L. Okay. So we have la, then ma, id. Lamad. La, ma, d. Lamad. And lamad is a verb, which means he learned. He learned. So if you translate that into English, it is he learned. So we can see that we need 2 words in English to represent this one word in Hebrew. That's why you will notice that if you read the Hebrew Bible, many times you need more words in English to explain the Hebrew word. Because we have, for example, if you say he learned, this is past tense, right? And in Hebrew, you can show the past tense by the vocals. Okay, in this case. So if you read Lamad with Kamatz and Patakh, then it means he learned past tense. But if you change the vocals, for example, if you put Lomed, we didn't learn that yet. You don't have to know that what I say now. But just keep it in mind, if you change the vocals to Lomed, then it's actually happening right now. For example, if you say Ani Lomed, I'm learning. Okay? So the time changes. I just wanted to mention that besides. So we have these 3 words. We have bat, we have yad, we have lamad. I hope it was very obvious what I wanted to show you. It's just the first 2 vocals I wanted to show you. In Hebrew, the first one is the Patakh, and then comes the Kamatz. They both represent the same tone. It's ah, okay? And we just did some practicing here. And keep on doing the good work. keep on doing the practicing lectures also, and I see you in the next lecture.